Hey guys, it's Heidi. Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be making an everyday look with 100% drugstore products. I guess the only exceptions would be the makeup sponges and the makeup brushes that I'm going to be using, but everything else is drugstore. Some of these products I have used before and some other are recent purchases I've made, and I guess that turns this also into a first impressions video. Alright, so to begin, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Base, and I'm super intrigued about this one because it does remind me a lot of the Smashbox primer, the original one. I mean, the Smashbox primer is super expensive, so if these turn out to be a very good dupe for that, it would be frankly amazing. These primers have dimethicone and they're supposed to help even out texture and kind of smooth out wrinkles. Alright, so moving on, this is another new drugstore product I just purchased, and it's the Rimmel London Insta Flawless Perfecting Radiant Skin Tint. So it has SPF 15, it's supposed to give a very natural glowing look, and 24 hours of hydration. I got this in the shade 006 Light Medium, and I'm a little bit concerned about that because I have been self-tanning just a little bit and I feel it's going to be maybe too light for me, but you know what, I'm gonna try it anyway, and if it doesn't work out then I'm gonna put something else on top. It's one of the few exceptions. So let's apply. Okay, so far this has like no coverage. Let's apply another layer. Alright, so this is a very light coverage product, you guys. So this is a good product for like a no makeup look. It looks really nice, it sinks into the skin. It is more of a tinted moisturizer or BB cream. Those days in which you really want to go for a very natural, effortless look, this may actually be a very good product. The other reason why I need to put something else on top is that I recently had a couple of like very tiny thingies removed by my dermatologist, and you guys can see that I still have some scarring. So nowadays I really could not pull this off because I do need a little bit of extra coverage for those areas, at least for a couple more weeks until it heals completely. So what I'm gonna do is go in with another drugstore product that I love, and that is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation, the shade 03 Light Beige, which I think is going to be quite suitable for how my neck and the rest of my body is looking right now. Yes, this foundation has the right coverage and the right shade that I'm needing right now, and I'm glad to see that it's not getting all messy because it's on top of the Insta Flawless. Alright, so moving on to brows, I'm also going to be testing out for the first time the L'Oreal Paradise Pomade Extatic. This is a brow gel pomade and it is in the shade 102 Warm Blonde. So hopefully it is the right shade, because here in Argentina the testers at the drugstore, they suck. And as soon as you get close to the makeup counter area, security gets in your neck, like they breathe on your neck. It's like you feel like a felon. It's awful. So the purchase experience at the drugstore here, it's really bad. Oh look, it comes with a tiny little brow brush conveniently inside the packaging. Looks very good. It's angled and everything and looks pretty kind of flat and precise. Here is the brow pomade and the shade looks right, at least inside the little jar. And yeah, I'm just gonna be drawing tiny strokes and filling in those gaps. So the shade is okay, but I honestly thought it was going to be a little bit lighter. Alright, so I'm done with the bad brow here, and I actually do like this product. I can see myself using it many times in the future. Alright, so I have one more product for my brows that I'm going to be testing out today for the very first time, and this one is by Rimmel, and it's called the Brow This Way. It is a brow styling gel with argan oil. When I told you guys that I had a bunch of new drugstore items to test out today for the first time, I was not exaggerating. So yeah, I'm gonna go for it and hope for the best. I'm just gonna go for the very bushy look. Oh, this is nice. Oh, FYI, clean up the brush from excess product before doing the mess that I just did. I feel these brow gels are pretty amazing because they're double duty. They make your brows look fuller and they also fix them into place. So that's what I typically like about these products. So this time I'm gonna wipe the excess right away and see if I can get kind of a better experience with the brush. Yeah, that's definitely a lot less messy. Alright, so now I'm going to be concealing the under eye area using my favorite drugstore concealer, and that's the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in the shade Light Pale. We're gonna apply. I prefer this concealer to so many much more expensive concealers out there. It's a solid concealer that's so forgiving on your fine lines. I love bronzers and I'm very excited to try this one because I just loved the size of these pen. So this one is also by L'Oreal. This is the Glam Bronze La Terra Sun Powder Face and Body, and it is in the shade 03. I mean, look at that. The packaging is just beautiful. This is the right size because then you can get a bronzer brush and, you know, really swirl in there. It also feels so silky soft to the touch, almost like a powder to cream type of product. And I'm going to be applying using my Morphe E41 bronzer brush, and I'm gonna start lightly just in case it's too dark. Okay, it looks nice. Definitely not the right shade for contouring. You may wanna kind of levitate towards more of an ashy type of bronzer for contouring, but for bronzing, which is what I'm trying to do today, I think it does look nice and kind of sun-kissed. Gonna go a little bit under my jaw to kind of make that double chin disappear, hopefully. So usually you want to do a C, starting in your temples and then kind of going under your cheekbones, or you can start there under the cheekbones and then go upwards. I like this bronzer. I feel like it really helps me create this kind of tanned look. I'm gonna take it down a little bit on my neck and chest. The texture is so nice. It just feels it is very finely milled and it doesn't get into my fine lines. So what I'm gonna do is use it also as a transition shade on my crease. And I tend to do this a lot with almost all my bronzers, and you probably saw me doing this already. And yeah, I'm gonna apply it as a transition shade here on my... Oh, and for that I'm using my Morphe M573 brush. So I'm going into the socket and placing the product into the crease and kind of pushing it near my nose. Using bronzer as your transition shade is always a great trick to kind of pull the whole look together. If you're a beginner and you're not interested in a very large makeup collection, which is absolutely normal, or you're saving, or you're kind of into more of simple eye looks, those are all reasons to kind of go for a nice bronzer like this one and use it in your eyes. Do you see how we have instantly changed the whole eye look and we're using the exact same product? Another tip is to go in with a smaller brush and using the exact same bronzing powder. You can dip it in and go into the outer corner of your crease to accentuate the area. Just makes the color look more like pigmented and darker, even though it is the exact same shade and the exact same product you're using, just changing the brush. And now using the same brush, I'm gonna take it down. This is looking so pretty, you guys, and we're really getting the most out of our bronzer here. And I'm going to go in with this Glam Eyes Professional Liquid Liner by Rimmel London, and I'm going to create a very subtle wing on the outer corner of my upper lash line. So in my experience, the easiest way to do this right is to kind of pull a little bit the skin next to your eyes and follow the natural lash line, and then as you come closer to the end of your eye, you kind of want to extend that line just a tiny bit. I like how the tip is really kind of thin and precise. I love how this is looking so far. It's so simple yet effective. And yeah, we're going to move on to one of my favorite parts of every look, and I think most of us will agree it is highlighter. And for that, I'm going to be testing out this LA Colors Strobing 10 color highlighting palette. Would you look at the size? I only paid $10 for this. So I'm gonna do that using this kind of banana shade right here. Let's see on this side. I guess I'm gonna go in with this one. So if you're looking for an extreme bam type of highlight, this is not going to be it. I have to say it is not the most finely milled highlight I've ever encountered. Like, it does accentuate kind of the texture, but again, it's just $10, and I do wonder if I can get away with using any of these two as a blush. I think I'm gonna go in with this one. I'm gonna apply it really lightly on the apples of my cheeks. Honestly, I would say it's more of a blush than a highlight, but other than that, I feel like it performs really nicely. So I think I'm gonna add a little bit of this one right here as kind of a shimmery shade. And why not, right? Powder is powder, and actually this looks so good as an eyeshadow. That definitely added a little bit of an extra something, right? Another good purchase, although a little bit deceiving. Personally, I wouldn't call it a strobing palette, and what you would normally expect a strobing palette to be, kind of really blinding highlighters. You have some nice matte powders to set your concealer, you have a couple of blushes, and then you have some nice more pinkish highlighters as eyeshadows. I think I'm gonna go in with this kind of lighter white highlight and kind of go into the inner corner just a little bit, and yes, that looks so pretty. All right, so we're almost done. For the lips, I wanted to give you a couple of alternatives. So for the day, I'm going to be using these Nude by Rimmel London. This is in the shade 720 Notting Hill Nude, and I think it's gonna really go perfect with this bronzy everyday look. I feel like this lipstick goes really well. But before I share with you an alternative lipstick for the nighttime, there's just one more product that I wanted to test out today. This is the Rimmel London Insta Fix and Go. And of course it's closed because I am testing it out for the very first time today. So as you guys can imagine, I am all for finding a nice mist, a nice setting spray from the drugstore, because I go through setting sprays really fast. So the mist is very fine and kind of a continuous mist. Doesn't smell too weird. Let's just help it dry a little bit, right? Hopefully it will work nicely and I will have a more affordable alternative. Plus, I live in Argentina and this one I can find in the drugstore, whereas Morphe or the Urban Decay Chill Setting Spray that I love both of them so much, but I have to order from them abroad, pay for super expensive shipping, and then for a 50% imports customs fee. So definitely I would be very happy to know that I can use something like this for like everyday wear. All right, this has turned out so nicely, you guys. I am so impressed. I feel like I've done so well with my new drugstore picks, and I'm so happy I did, you guys, because there's this major economic crisis in my country and I really don't want to waste not even 1 peso. I'm like in saving mode right here. I think I'm going to be reaching out to these products and repeating these look over and over again. In the southern hemisphere here, we're starting spring, so it just feels like it's so sunny and nice and in anticipation of the summertime after a very, very cold winter. A bronzy look like this just feels right. Just by changing up the lipstick shade to a darker shade, you can very easily change a bronzy day look like this one to a darker night look. So let's do that. I'm going to be applying these Milani lipstick in the shade 76 Matte Style. There we go. So with that one change, we have turned these bronzy everyday look into a more evening appropriate night look. So that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for new videos that will be coming up really soon. Thank you so much for watching and for all your support, and I will talk to you all again on my next one.